Within hours, US President Joe Biden made a statement in response, saying the US has not yet verified Russia's claim that some of its forces have withdrawn from the Ukraine border, and said an invasion of Ukraine remains a distinct possibility. Loading Biden continued to express skepticism about Russia's intentions. Biden warned again that if Russia invades Ukraine, the US will rally the world to oppose its aggression. He said Russian attack on Ukraine remains a possibility, and reports that some Russian forces have moved away from the Ukraine border have not yet been verified by the United States. We are ready to respond decisively to a Russian attack on Ukraine, which remains very much a possibility, Biden said in nationally televised remarks. Earlier, the White House on Wednesday AEDT said it is aware of reports of cyber attacks in Ukraine and has offering support to Kiev in the investigation of and response to the denial of service incidents. Russia's lower house of parliament voted on Wednesday AEDT to ask Putin to recognize 2 Russian-backed breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine as independent, and the European Union told Moscow not to follow through. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Russian President Vladimir Putin at a joint news conference in Moscow on Tuesday. Kremlin via AP striking a more positive note than some other Western leaders. Scholz said it was a good sign that some Russian troops were returning to base after exercises near Ukraine, but added that he wanted more to follow. It should be possible to find a solution. No matter how difficult and serious the situation seems to be, I refuse to say it is hopeless, he said. Loading to my generation, war in Europe has become unimaginable. We must ensure it stays that way, said Scholz, who took office in December. While Scholz reiterated that NATO's eastward expansion is not on the agenda, everyone knows that very well, Putin retorted that Moscow will not be assuaged by such assurances. They are telling us it won't happen tomorrow, Putin said. Well, when will it happen? The day after tomorrow. What does it change for us in the historic perspective? Nothing. He went on to argue NATO expansion violates the principle of the indivisibility of security enshrined in international documents. We want to solve this issue now, as part of negotiation process through peaceful means, Putin said. We very much hope that our partners hear our concerns and take them seriously. At a news conference in Moscow, Putin declined to be drawn out on how he plans to respond. He said Russians were sympathetic to the residents of the Donbass region, but he wanted the region's problems to be resolved through the Minsk Accords. Using stark language that Germany's Scholz dismissed as wrong, the Kremlin leader said Russia considered the treatment of ethnic Russians in the Donbass region as genocide. Moscow casts the conflict in East Ukraine as a civil war, but Ukraine and the West say Russia helps the separatists with its own ground forces, something Moscow denies. Russia has issued more than 700,000 passports to residents of eastern Ukraine since separatists seized territory there in 2014, shortly after Russia annexed Crimea, souring relations with Kiev and the West. Duma vote. The move by the State Duma, if approved, could further inflame a wider standoff over a Russian military buildup near Ukraine that has fueled Western fears that Moscow could attack. Russia denies any invasion plans and has accused the West of hysteria. The State Duma, the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation. AP recognition of the self-declared Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics could kill the Minsk peace process in eastern Ukraine, where a conflict in the region known as Donbass between government forces and Moscow-backed separatists has cost 15,000 lives. France's foreign minister said on Tuesday that if Moscow recognized 2 Russian-backed breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine as independent, it would be an attack without weapons. If this were applied, then it would be an impossible situation, and would be a sort of attack without weapons. It would be in violation of Ukraine's sovereignty, Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian told a parliamentary hearing. Scholz, who has drawn criticism at home and abroad for mixed signals on Ukraine and for not speaking out against Russia, also said that while NATO and the European Union did not agree with Russia's demands, there were some points worth discussing. Russian President Vladimir Putin and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz during their talks at the Kremlin in Moscow on Tuesday. Kremlin via AP once again, the Chancellor stopped short of saying he would end the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline in the event of an invasion, merely saying there would be consequences. Washington's ambassador to the United Nations on Tuesday agreed with a NATO analysis that there was not yet any concrete evidence of a Russian troop pullback from the border. However, any de-escalation would be welcome, Linda Thomas-Greenfield said in a statement. It would be welcome news if it is legitimate. We have not seen evidence of that yet, she said.